Capricorn Collective, welcome, welcome. I'm Nikki, your local vegan tarotist, and we're going to do a reading for what's coming next in love. This could be what you're currently dealing with, what you can expect to deal with. This may or may not be your divine counterpart. It is just going to be a check it out. We have 10 of Wands and the Devil. So that is you, Capricorn. That is overworking, overburdening yourself. There could have been masculines, you could have been dealing with a feminine that didn't like how much you worked. Maybe work was getting in the way of your ability to communicate. You know, it's like if you come home from a long day of work, you just don't want to talk. You don't want to deal with conversation or whatever. But we have the Knight of Swords. So that is a masculine coming in with communication. Fast, truth. Maybe the feminine felt like they were not, we got the Lovers here. A truth about lovers. You could be dealing with a Gemini, or you or your person could share or have strong Gemini placements. I said share, so maybe. We have the Two of Swords at the bottom. So yeah, the feminine is waiting on communication. The feminine could have multiple options, or the masculine might think that the feminine has multiple options. So that might have been the holdup with why they didn't communicate their feelings to this feminine. Their desires about where they wanted to go. Yeah, Five of Cups. Coming out of this feminine is a mystery. Could be dealing with a Pisces or have strong Pisces placements. Could have met this person in Pisces season, right? There's a lot of air energy here at the center with Two of Swords, Knight of Swords, and the Lovers as Gemini. And then we have the Five of Cups in reverse. Five of Cups is crying over spilled milk. This is coming out of that. This is saying, I'm done. I'm just done dealing with it. Makes me think of the movie The Wedding Date. So you could be dealing with a Taurus. I don't know her sign. And her name is not Gina Davis, but that's the only name that I have right now. But she's from Will and Grace. So maybe the name's Will or Grace. This could be a same-sex situation. Or very specifically, somebody may have thought that somebody else was not into them. Maybe they thought that they were heterosexual or homosexual. They thought that they were into somebody else. And that could be that could be about the sexuality, or that could just be about their level of interest. Maybe this person just didn't think that you were friends, and that's it. Could be a Scorpio involved. We have Death here, but I feel like that's more coming to an ending. Like this communication is going to bring an ending to all of this, sorry to say it, but kind of mopey energy. Somebody was in like a wounded, woe is me. I never get what I want. But in the wedding date, you know, she hires an escort. So you could have met in some very strange business way. Might not have been very strange. Maybe you just worked together. But there is some sort of like contract here. You could have met at a wedding, or that could be where this is going. Maybe that's what this communication is about. I actually want to be with you. But she says she's, you know, stuck on her ex. She's going to this wedding and her ex is the best man. So she hires this escort, which happens to be Dermot Mulroney, like, darn. And then, you know, love ensues and all of that. But they're having a conversation, and it's kind of a confrontational conversation, because she's like, wait, you think I want to be heartbroken? You think I want to be stuck on my ex? He's like, yeah. And when you're ready to be, you know, whatever word she uses, you know, he's like, whenever you decide to be unheartbroken, you will. So it's kind of somebody just realizing, I'm just done with this. And it just flipped over when I tried to pick it up. It's like, I'm done crying over spilled milk. The past is the past. And it happened for a reason. It led me to, it turned me into this magician, this divine alchemist, more Gemini energy, Virgo and Taurus. And then we have Judgment. So this Two of Swords, yeah, the masculine is probably thinking, I don't know if this feminine's going to accept this offer. I don't know if they're even going to hear me out. Because I don't even know, and it could be a message online because they're not looking. This feminine has got a blindfold on, so they may think this feminine might not even read it. somebody could have been blocked with that Five of Cups. And that blockage could just be in the heart space. Yeah, wish fulfillment, Nine of Cups in reverse on the feminine side. This probably feels like a missed opportunity, or did at one point. So if this is your divine counterpart, you, with the Lovers here, you know, you could have, or you could be in separation right now, or this is what you may encounter, and this might just kind of be a bit of a confirmation. Yeah, coming out of heartbreak and the Knight of Swords. You both want to talk. You both want to talk about this. The feminine is waiting here, trying to use their intuition. You don't try to use your intuition. You try not to use your, you try not to have fear infiltrate your decision making and your planning process. But there's some confusion here with the moon shining this light. It's like it's a little bit of light, but it's not the whole truth, right? Because the moon, I was going to say the month, maybe something about Monday, but the moon, and then maybe mom. So there could be a single parent here. There could be something with the mother involved. It could be a mother that's messing with this connection. Maybe it's like a family business with that work and that burden. But the masculine's coming out of that, right? They're coming out as a knight, so they're ready to fight. It is action, like they're ready not to fight with the feminine, but to fight for the feminine. But the moon inherits its light from the sun. It borrows it from the sun. The sun is the ultimate truth, right? And then we have the Three of Pentacles. Collaborating. And the Three of Pentacles can sometimes indicate, usually the Three of Cups does, but with the Three of Pentacles clarifying how the masculine sees this, like the feminine is working together with people, but Three of Pentacles is community, friendships, it's platonic, right? This isn't the Lovers. So masculine, if you have any fears about that, this feminine's not interested. They may have a lot of options or be working with a lot of people, but they're pretty stuck on you, masculines. They're trying to plan their way forward. This feminine is trying to move forward and plan their way, because they're like, well, if they're not going to come in and communicate with me, well, then I guess I'm just going to continue doing what I'm doing. And there's something with the number 3. We have the Three of Wands, Three of Pentacles, and the Three of Swords was coming out. So 333, that's 9. All right, so maybe those numbers mean something to you, or you're going to be seeing synchronicities that come in a series of 3. But the Holy Trinity is the divine masculine, divine feminine, divine creation. The divine creation is the sun. So maybe you're going to have a son with this person, or a child with this person. You're going to build a family with them. But communication is needed, always, right? And then we have the Queen of Cups with the Lovers here. So you both want each other. You both want each other. This feminine's ready to give love. They're ready to receive love. And we have Death again. So more scorpionic energy. You're both sharing that similar energy. And then the Hermit, Virgo, here with the Magician. So there's strong confirmations for Scorpio, Gemini, and Virgo. And then we have that Five of Wands at the bottom there with the Hierophant. The feminine feels like they're praying for this. They're praying for this communication. They're praying for this to move forward. They're praying for clarity. And the type of clarity that this feminine feels like they're praying for is, what do I do about this? Right? Because I don't feel like this feminine, they're in a queen energy, so I don't necessarily feel like they're just waiting around for this masculine, but at the same time they are. You know, it's like they feel like if the plan would change, they'd be willing to change their plans for this masculine. Right? So Three of Wands can also be about moving forward. Could be a literal move. The feminine could be Okay, we have the King of Swords and the Queen of Cups again coming out. Or trying to come out. And that's probably a confirmation about this, how difficult. I was going to say treacherous. Something about treacherous. There could be some sort of third-party entity. Again, it could be the mother, could be friends, but I'm getting this kind of karmic interference. And the world. So there is distance, and it's like the King of Swords knows that they need to come forward with this communication, true communication. So yes, there's action with the Knight of Swords, but they need to have that solid, honest discernment that the King of Swords has, right? The King of Swords is the ruler of communication, the leader of communication. Could be doing, I mean, you could do something in work with communications. Maybe you're in sales or something. Maybe the masculine is in sales, and it's like he knows how to communicate in all other areas of his life except when it's about love, when it's about cups. Because he's the King of Swords. He's masculine. He's on the masculine side of air and water. But water and air is the head and the heart, right? The head and the heart, isn't that a band? And the devil didn't come out completely, so they were just peeking out, which tells me that this masculine's going to do it anyway. They're going to come in with this communication regardless. It's like, it's true courage. Could be something to do with Leo, but that is that Leo is the sun, clarity, right? It's bringing that in. We have the world. So again, this feminine may be moving or moving forward, planning to move forward. But again, there's still that link to the womb. The feminine senses the potential for some great co-creation, and again, maybe procreation. With this masculine, they see it. It's like you both have chosen each other, and we have the Ten of Wands again. So maybe the masculine was in a connection, and they couldn't come forward with this communication about how they felt about this feminine because they were in something else. They were engaged in something else. Maybe they were engaged. Maybe they were just, they were burdened with external factors. That's what the Ten of Wands is about. It's releasing external factors, laying them down and saying, these are not mine. And the Two of Pentacles at the center here, it's two people communicating about how compatible they are. It's having that conversation about, what do you want in life? You know, where do you see yourself in 5 years, 10 years? So again, you may have met in work. Maybe somebody was a boss, right? Maybe somebody had to leave work with the wands here, the Ten of Wands. Maybe somebody had to leave a job because there was a conflict of interest if you were to get together. Because maybe this was like a leader. You know, this masculine could have been the superior or vice versa. But we have the Queen of Wands and the Two of Wands. The Wheel of Fortune in the world, that's all about things coming around full circle, divine timing, trusting in that process of things just coming to where they need to. The High Priestess, more Pisces confirmation. This is double confirmation on both ends in all three decks so far. So you both want this. You're both compatible. You're seeing eye to eye. All because of this silly little thing called communication and truth. So somebody could have a Virgo placement, because I got this sense that things needed to be even, they needed to be coordinated, they needed to be perfect. That's also Pisces energy as the polarity sign of Virgo. Capricorn's polarity sign is Cancer, so you could be dealing with Cancer, although I don't see that other than the Queen of Cups. We have the Four of Wands, which is 11-11. This is maybe the shortest reading that I might do. We have the Moon and the Devil. Yeah, it's coming out of that lack of clarity, because it was reading as deception. But the truth of the matter is that the Four of Wands, maybe the feminine didn't feel like they mattered. They may have felt like, I can be second to your purpose. I can be like your second priority, or get like but I can't be third. I can't be behind. Maybe, you know, this masculine was a people pleaser with the Ten of Wands. That could be, I mean, both of you. Maybe that was a people-pleasing thing, but I'm getting more of that with the masculine because the Ten of Wands was coming out strong with the masculine side and letting go of something, relieving themselves of something. But then, just when I pulled out this is the mutual energy. I used the Van Gogh for the mutual energy. So once I pulled out the mutual energy, I stopped caring about if things were perfect and coordinated. The cards started to shift around and I was just like, and they're kind of like laying on top of each other in a very non-Virgo way, very imperfect way. It's like, just do it. It doesn't have to be perfect. Just do it. So maybe something with Nike, maybe somebody is into sports or very about fitness. But even if somebody is physically fit, spiritually, this masculine is coming in exhausted. This is very difficult. This feminine, I feel, is kind of like prompted the dark night of the soul. That's really scorpionic energy. It's Pluto and Mars, which is also Aries energy, right? It's all about destruction, war. But Aries is about the destruction. Scorpio is about the cycle of rebirth. And we have the world, the wheel of fortune. It's all things coming around. The number 13. This feels like a very simple, the tower in reverse with the event in reverse there. Money, money, labor, labor. Yeah, somebody was really focused on their money, working. But money and labor, they're in the upright. There's 4 of them here. 2 labors and 2 monies. We have blue, yellow, and... Okay, so the labor and money in the upright are blue and purple. The labor and money in reverse are both yellow. That's the solar plexus, right? So somebody went into, purple and blue. This is indigo. This is the third eye, all right? It's the meeting point of the throat chakra and the crown chakra, right? Which is Sagittarius and Taurus. Also mercurial energy with the Magician, more Gemini and Virgo confirmation there. But that's those two coming together, and that's that Pisces energy of the High Priestess, which we're also getting confirmation. So it's like somebody is very much up in their head, but in the spiritual way, right? They're not in their analog. They're not, intellectualizing this anymore. Somebody had to dip into their heart space. I feel like this feminine prompted a dark night of the soul for this masculine. And this could be the past feminine that the masculine was dealing with, that they got out of, that prompted their dark night of the soul. And when we go through a karmic connection, karmic prompts the dark night of the soul, and then we come into union, right? Some twin flame journeys, they present like a karmic to prompt that dark night of the soul. Both of you go through that and then you come back together. So however you view the twin flame journey. And then we have labor in the upright. So it's like you guys are finally working together, but you're connecting in the heart space. Green is the heart chakra, and that is how we connect with other human beings, through the heart space. We can communicate, we can do all of the lower chakras, right, which is all about this is the ego and the past, the lower 3 chakras. The heart is the center. It's the truth. It's the moon and the sun, the divine masculine and feminine celestial bodies meeting there, Cancer and Leo. And then you rise up into the future, the intuition. So it's the intuition and the ego. So there's something about the chakras aligning. And it's funny because for these shorter readings, because some of them have gotten up there, 1919 on the clock, which is 1010, it's endings, which is 2 coming together. So maybe the number 2. I haven't been pulling from the Energy Center book for these shorter readings, but today, for your reading, I pulled it out. I was like, I don't know why I feel like that. And I feel like there's a lot of somebody aligning chakras, right? Okay. So, I just shuffle and pick a page, right? I am the light of the heart. I am the light of the heart, shining in the darkness of being and changing all into the golden treasury of the mind of Christ. Shift the nomenclature around however you need to. It doesn't have to be, right? Christ can represent truth. Christ can represent whatever. It can represent the sun, Leo energy, truth, right? So just switch it around. It's poetry. I am projecting my love. I am projecting my love out into the world to erase all errors and to break down all barriers. I am the power of infinite love, amplifying itself until it is victorious. World without end. So we've got the world in here again. World without end. It's like, what's that? Around the world, around the world. Who sings that? Is that the Blue Man Crew or whatever? Blue moon. You saw me standing alone. Without a dream in my heart, without a love of my own. Maybe when you met, somebody could have been kind of mourning or grieving a loss or an ending of something. And so it's like you met this person, maybe you met each other in your dark night of the soul, and so you weren't prepared to do that healing work for each other. You had to do it individually, but now it's like you're going to come together, and I feel like this love is going to be very, very healing, and it's going to be sort of a confirmation that you went through all the bullshit. 4 here, right? Life path 4, that's the alchemist, that's the elementalist. It is the 1111, maybe something around the 1111 portal that just passed. All right, let's pull a color here. You know, 4 is all about balance. It's the cornerstones. It's building a structure. It's going from the foundation. The conversation is like the foundation. You say we want the same things. Now we build together. And if you've ever worked on a project with somebody, maybe you have with this person, or you will. I think it's going to be the project of life. Life and love. I feel like maybe neither one of you laughed very much. With the Hermit here, I feel like, yeah, you were in a very dark place when you met. And it's like this person brings you into the light. And maybe not so ironically, and that could be why I'm thinking of it, but I have Sex and the City playing in the background on mute. We got Bon Jovi here. I was sitting with Carrie in a therapy. So this person's going to be like therapy for you. But maybe you went to therapy. Maybe that's how you met this person, right? Maybe you, there was something about, and there could be an age difference. The feminine could be older because we have Robinson as a last name here, right? So Mrs. Robinson trying to seduce me. There was something like improper about you two coming together for whatever reason. And maybe that was like, I'm getting Corpse Bride. What impropriety is this? You know, when they're like talking together, it's like, you should never be alone together. So there's somebody did not want you alone together. Could have been a jealous person involved, but yeah, that could just be for some of you. And then we have green. Green is, again, the heart chakra. This person is going to be so healing and nurturing for your heart space because you took the time to do that work on your own, let things go through death and rebirth and forge yourself into a divine frequency. And because you're holding that frequency, it's like you've earned your way out, your way out of darkness. So back to Sex and the City, there's a part where Samantha is like, I don't know, she fucks the wrong person, whatever. And like, she's community, you know, she's communally, societally, like high society, she's shunned because she, I don't know, she messes with somebody who is, she's trying to do business with somebody. So this could have been like a friends, but things were actually a little bit more, there was more there. So I'm definitely getting third party factor somewhere. Could have been a lover, could have been a family member, friend, work, could have been toxic or just lower vibrational behaviors, right? Addictions, substance use, fears, right? Fear, it's all things devil, which is you. It's all things devil, which is of the ego. It's of the attachments of the past. And this heart space, enlightening connection is brevity. It's bringing I was going to say levity, but brevity. So there's something about it's lightening the load, and that is the Ten of Wands. That's releasing the burdens of like things that just don't work. Maybe an ex was very lazy. I don't know. Because I do feel like with all this labor here, you guys are it's going to be a labor of love. You're going to work together. You're going to build things together like a true Emperor and Empress will. You build from the ground up. You're not just born into a kingdom. You construct it. Like the magician, you alchemize it to be true. So yeah, Samantha's not able to go anywhere. She's shunned from society. She did a bad thing, right? But she really didn't, because it takes two to tango, you know. And then like she is, Leonardo DiCaprio brings her out, and not I don't know if it's supposed to be the actor Leonardo DiCaprio, but Leo, he's a Scorpio. So yeah, there's Leo and Scorpio, death and rebirth. This is a full cycle. I feel like I want to pull more because I really like this, but I think it's very simple. So I'm going to just leave it here. Hopefully there was something in here for you, Capricorn. Thank you for your time. Thank you for your support. And until next time, I wish you well.